Welcome back to another AoE Theater episode. I was planning to do a MIDI lowcast, but not only was it very laggy, but the game data also corrupted, so that's cool. But we have a game here at the low 800s between H2O, David Lopez, and Stubborn Squire. So, Blue or David here, or, I mean, there's not a third or a second or. It's already, the intro's already gone to crap, but we have Blue playing as the Lithuanians at 834 elo, and then Stubborn Squire is playing as the Incas in red. And Land Madness is the map we are on today. Now, this is one of my least favorite maps, but I have, the last time it was in the map pool, which was only like a month ago, I did get some pretty good wins on it, so I did kind of start to warm up to it. It's a very aggressive map. Now, there was recently an update to Capture Age, and I'm not sure if this is a pro feature or not, because now I have Capture Age Pro, so I guess I'll never know. But it shows all the resources on the map, obviously. I mean, you can read, but that's a little interesting thing, so we can kind of check that as the game goes on. And we've got Blue Scout over here. Doesn't know where Red is yet. Doesn't want to push the deer, because 800 elo. Let's see, 4 on wood. Oh, Red refuses to take the berries under the TC here. So Land Madness only gives you one boar, and then gives you a bunch of berries, and is just merciful enough, I suppose, to give you an extra berry bush under the TC as Blue kills 2 herdables, both out from under the TC here. You love to see that. So, and Red's building a third house as Incas. Probably has memorized the fact that he needs to build a third house when he's at 13 population, so he doesn't get housed, but that's not necessary with the Incas because of their nice little housing bonus, but it can be hard to remember that. And Blue's making a nice little house wall here in front. So Blue kind of got behind on the villager production at the start because they were housed and had to get loom, but somehow, as I've been talking here, Blue has pulled ahead again. Oh, because Red had a minute and a half of TC idle time. Oh. And despite getting housed, Blue did research loom and only has 3 seconds of idle time. So Blue's definitely doing better. I mean, not on worker efficiency, but you really just, the more villagers you have, the less worker efficiency matters. It always is important, but I'd argue Blue's in the better position here, because Blue does have 4 more villagers, and they're at about the same rate of production, so it's not like Blue's gonna catch up, or, I mean, Red is gonna catch up and Blue's gonna fall behind. Now, I'm not sure what this villager is coming over here to do. This is interesting. What is she wanting to do? Oh, I finally figured out how to follow, guys. This is perfect. Okay. It is, neither player's clicked up to Feudal Age yet, so I think I'm gonna follow this villager's life. It's very laggy. She's really lagging the game here. I'm not sure, is Red scouting with this villager? Because he's gone from 1 gold down here, all the way up to this one, and done nothing with it. Oh, where? Okay, let's just run under the town center. Yep, nothing really happens there. She's still just sitting here. So, that's not great for Red. Red now has over 2 minutes of idle eco time. It's not looking good for Red here. And Blue has queued up Feudal Age behind his next villager. So, Blue is going to be going up with 25 villagers at basically 10 minutes. So, that's a pretty late uptime in itself. Oh, okay. Red's going to mill the deer. That's good. That'll help him. I'm not... Red can go up. Red has more than enough food, more than enough villagers, and is already pretty far behind when Blue clicked up. These villagers are now idle. It is really not looking good for Red. Okay, Red. Oh, but instead of going up, Red queues another villager. Red is... I mean, I don't even know if Red's gonna be clicked up by the time Blue gets to Feudal Age. This could be bad for Red. I'm not sure where that lady over at the gold went. I guess I should have kept following her. Oh, you know what? Red's finally clicked up. So that's good. Now, Blue sees basically everything Red has. Hello? Okay. Apparently seeing less of the map causes it to lag more. Oh, Blue just catches a glimpse of the hunt villagers, but not the mill. Not like it's really going to be that important, though, because the villagers are probably going to be off of the mill by the time Blue gets any scouts to rush. Because Blue doesn't even have a barracks up. Blue's just getting all his eco upgrades, and is going to waste a minute at the town center getting wheelbarrow. But, you know, that's okay, because Red's getting Feudal Age, and that is basically about the same upgrade time. So, very odd decisions for both players here. We've got walls going up for Red. Probably anticipating the scouts, and so they've decided to small wall. Which is good, but if they need more villagers on wood, it's going to be hard to get them in. Because what's the point of having a wall if you're just going to delete a tile to let a villager in? And then you want to close it back up immediately if you do, but then, you know, you could need another villager in very soon, and that, okay, the scout dies. Because it was weakened from earlier. Red Scout has taken no damage, though. And Blue is quite possibly the most open I have seen somebody be in quite a while. Blue seems to only want to wall with buildings. Either doesn't know palisade walls exist or actively despises them. Because he's not making a single one. So Blue's gonna have a very hard time getting his walls up. Houses are very expensive for the amount of protection they provide for your base. They just don't cover enough tiles to be making your wall completely out of them. So Blue's gonna get a stable up, but Red's had a lot of time to prepare. Red's getting a second lumber camp and is now getting wheelbarrow. Okay. Now, I don't know if I'm just wrong on this, but I don't think wheelbarrow is very good to get in Feudal Age because it wastes a bunch of time. I usually get it early Castle Age when I've already got 2 town centers or have a second one going up, because I don't want to waste too much time not making villagers because of wheelbarrow. And it just seems that you really kind of lose your advantage if you decide to make any, I mean, if you decide to research a wheelbarrow, because it's like a minute and a half. That's instead 3 villagers you could have made. Now, blue loses a lot of health on that villager there due to that tiger. I'm not sure why blue's making forward houses, but blue's going for a house creep. Can red even see that? Hold on. Is it control? How am I forgetting the hotkeys? Okay. So red can see the house. Probably doesn't know why it's there. And is now attacking the stables. Oh no. So blue's going double stables, but it hasn't made a single scout. Which is, that's like a, I mean, that's just a lot of wood to put into buildings that you're not going to use. Now, blue could be going like a double stable knight kind of thing. Which, that makes sense then. But, I don't know. I would put up the stable kind of later. Because there's no point in wasting the wood when you're not going to use either stable. You should probably just use it on farms. But, I mean, blue's floating a lot of wood. So, I think blue can spare some. But blue's also getting bloodlines with 1 scout. And that was a spearman that just got killed there. So the KD is now 0 to 2 for blue. And blue's just making houses everywhere. I don't know if this is because blue wants outposts kind of everywhere but doesn't want to spend the stone. Or if he's kind of just scouting with the villager too and is putting up houses whenever he needs them. Okay, I think it might be outposts, because there's 2 villagers out doing this. And red is attacking the sable, instead of the 2 gold villagers that are unprotected. Classic. Now, blue's actually got a huge villager lead, and just clicked up. So, I'm not sure what red's gonna do. If red just built a second feudal age building, oh, okay, he's about to get it up. So red will be just slightly behind, just like feudal age. Hopefully. Okay, yeah, red noticed. Now let's take a look at how many resources are left. Not that much of a difference. Stone hasn't changed. Nobody's collected any. Red is about to go on stone though. And I'm a little confused by the logic for the Tetris mining camp on the stone, but not the gold. I don't know why red assumes it's only bad on the gold, but it's fine on the stone. Now, skirmishers are very good against spearmen, and so these will die, and then blue can clear up the rest with the scouts. Sorry, had to take a bit of a drink there. Red's opening that back up. Build another barracks, so it looks like red might go for eagles. And yeah, I think so. There are just a few queued up in there. And both players are still very open. This is the thing about lower elos. They kind of half wall and then don't ever finish them. And instead of going knights, blue's actually gonna make light cav. I mean, as Lithuanians, you usually want to go knights because your relic bonus only affects knights and your latest, and not your light cavalry. I'm not sure why blue's doing this. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot that was even there. Probably not. Probably pretty intrusive, I mean. So, red denies a house drop. Red's in castle now is getting Eagle Warrior. And Eagle Warriors are better than Light Cav. Whereas Knights are better than Eagle Warriors. So, you know, I really think Blue should be making Knights here. But, oh, goodness, that's a good raid. That'll get at least 2 or 3 here. Yep, that's 1 down. Oh man. Could have gotten that villager if all 3 were on her. But 2 down. That's good. That's good for red. And blue. It's good for blue. And blue's gonna find the gold, and so many villagers could die here. 1. Oh, garrison just in time. Alright, 2. And that villager will die. Oh, 2 more die at the end. The Eco KD is 6-1. So, blue did get a pretty good raid in with the light cav. But instead of switching into knights now, blue's gonna continue to go for light cav and loses the 2 gold villagers. And is gonna try and make skirms. Although, he just canceled them. But the skirms were obviously in response to the pikemen that red is now making. This is bad. Blue got a good raid, but now his entire wood line is over here in the corner. And the Eco KD is now a little better for red here, as blue let red get the 2 gold villagers. And they both have 2 TCs. Now, you know, red might have killed some villagers, but the villager count overall up here is still very skewed towards blue's favor. And it looks like blue is gonna go hide over there. So I actually want to see how much vision blue has, thanks to these houses. Oh, there's actually an outpost there too. Blue is... Oh my god, there's another big raid! That's even better. That's 3, 4. Oh god, red's just letting all the raids get into his wood lines. 5 villagers killed. Alright, you know what? Blue's actually making a good argument for light cav here. I thought this would be subpar, but I mean, blue just doesn't even care about the pikemen, really. Although that's bad. Yeah. Blue did run straight through the pikeman there, so does lose quite a few light cav. And is now going to switch into knights, which would have been good back when red was still only making a few pikemen. And red's actually stopped production overall. But I feel like you're going to need a pretty big number of knights. Or, I mean, not big, but like, you'd have to invest pretty moderately to take care of that many pikemen. We have knights here. Now, the eagles are still running free through blue's base, but red hasn't killed any more villagers than before. Thumbring and elite skirmisher. So blue is going to make the switch into skirmishers, which means blue will have to make sure he defends his skirms from the eagles. Oh, and red's going to make monks. Makes sense. I mean, whoa. Whoa. Can I speak? Sorry, I don't know why it's so hard for me to speak right now. I was gonna say, none of the Meso civs have half bad monks, so it's a good decision from red. Although, I mean, he's seeing knights now, but I don't know if red saw the knights before making the monk. So, maybe a bit questionable there. And red's raiding blue's eco now. Red doesn't have to really care about the arrows, thanks to the Eagle's Pierce Armor, and gets a villager there. And Red's just playing so well, it's slowing down the game. Now that's 2 more villager kills for Red. But the Knights will easily win that, so Blue's able to chase Red off. Oh, but Red gets a free villager kill. How long will it be before Blue notices that? Blue's clearing up that. Blue's completely focused on that. And meanwhile, this Eagle's killed 2 villagers up at this TC, and it could be a 3rd. It will be a 3rd. Whoa. The freezing is making me do all sorts of things. And it's gonna be a 4th, because this guy isn't even near the TC anymore. Oh, okay. He walked quicker than I thought he would. But that was more villagers than Red should have been allowed to get there. Blue definitely took a while to notice that. These guys on... yeah, they were stone villagers. And I'm not sure if Blue knows where another stone... well, no, Blue should see these stones. Honestly, Blue sees basically the whole map. Blue knows where all the resources are. And Blue can even see back there. Okay. Oh, and Blue's up to Imp. I didn't even notice. Now, Blue's got a castle up to defend there. Red's trying to get rid of that house. And I'm not sure what this monk is doing. Oh. Okay, it's going after the relic. Now, Red is slowly getting the relics. Oh. That is a lot of idle villagers, Blue. What are you looking at? Okay, I'm gonna move previous stone villagers to gold. Oh, and oh, Blue got another good raid in, and Blue could get, despite the pikemen, Blue is probably gonna get a few more villagers here. Or okay, runs out another overchop. So that's 2 more villagers for Blue there, and if Blue were more attentive, could have sniped that monk, and that would have been funny, honestly. Not only do you lose 2 villagers, you also lose 100 gold, and don't get to bring back that relic. Oh, but Blue's raiding again. Blue is really providing, I mean, giving constant pressure to Red. For some reason, built a TC up here. Don't know how I missed that. Oh, but this is a really aggressive game for 800 now. Okay, Red could have gotten those 2 villagers. They were both 1 hit away from death. Would have evened out the eco KD a little bit. Even regular KD is still pretty lopsided. But that'll be 2 more villagers for Red. Oh, and Red's gonna find the weak villagers. 2 more. And but there's a guy over here who's weak. Okay, I lost the weak villager. Oh, that's a lot of dead villagers. Regular KD, perfectly even now. And Eco KD is almost equal, but Blue is up to Imp. And is... okay, not really doing anything with it. There's no Imperial Age blacksmith upgrades, no trebs, no university upgrades. None of that coming in. But it may scare Red a little bit. Oh, Red found Blue's a little sneaky base here. That's probably how Blue's been applying the pressure very recently. Because those just went up like maybe 3 or 4 minutes ago in game. And Blue's kind of just scouting here because he can't really find damage thanks to all the pikemen around here. Well, that could be a villager. Nope, he's running it back to the pikemen. That's good from Red. And Red has really made a lot of pikemen. Almost. Blue is really doing a good job of just spreading out one unit to like each corner of Red's base and just being annoying with them. And it's getting him a lot of villager kills. The Eco KD is 16 to 14. And Red's actually pulling ahead in the overall KD. Oh, and now we see the Imperial armor upgrade coming in, finally. Wait, and Blue's making another TC in range of his other one. Blue's got an interesting strategy. Blue's taking up the whole map, and is now getting Winged Hussar. I don't know when the Trebs are gonna come from this castle, but I hope they come soon, because you'd be a fool not to make Trebs an imp. Your opponent's clicked up, and they're making a bunch of eagles. Now, I don't think it's really Mayan eagles that do good against cavalry, because they get 100 HP, but Incan eagles aren't that bad either. They get a unique tech too, and if Red can just get a castle up, which Red can afford one, then Red can get that unique tech. Oh, and there go the skirmishers. A lot of these guys are gonna die, because Blue unfortunately managed to run them right into the eagle army that Red had sitting there. Or not. The pikemen seem to be slowing the eagles down, because usually the eagles would catch up there. Alright, and we're seeing rams now from Red. And so, Blue actually manages to lose no units out of that entire chase, and Red loses, what, 3? So that was a pretty good deal for Blue. Blue probably had that planned all along. Oh, and now Blue's gonna make a side base over there. And Red's making a 1 villager castle against the Winged Hussar. Ooh. Winged Hussar are a really good raiding unit, as we're seeing right here. Now, Blue is just really trying to get that 1 villager. Oh. Okay, apparently doesn't want to sacrifice. Okay, well, you could have gotten that villager. And Red is up there attacking with pikemen. So the problem is Red doesn't really have much of a sense of urgency. He's just applying, like, very slight pressure with a few eagles, and then has to deal with, like, what, 4 units from Blue every once in a while? Not to mention all of the units that were just thrown under the castle here, which I missed, but look at that. That was the 2 rams Red made, just gone. Of course, Red is getting some good kills here, because Blue doesn't have murder holes. So Eco KD is now 9 to 16 in favor to Red. And the monk is gonna grab that relic. Oh, okay. Well, that's unfortunate. So the problem here is Red was really forced to make that castle, and still has the villager garrisoned in it, but like this doesn't protect much of the forward stuff here. This only really protects the few farms and half of the TC. So Red's really not getting much value from that castle, since Blue did really only have like 4 units back there at most. But they did manage to get quite a few villager kills. Blue finally makes trebuchets after like 8 minutes of being an imp. And Red's gonna try and research something at the monastery that's getting trebbed down. And it just barely gets denied. 93.6% on that upgrade. And, oh, I thought those were eagles. Those are just some pikemen. So those will die easily. Now, Blue doesn't have very much production. but is still kind of managing to outproduce red. Honestly, I'm kind of rooting for red, because red's the underdog here. But, I mean, now there are latest coming out from blue, and there's a treb. I don't know where the second one is. Oh, it's hidden. It's hidden behind the other one. Now, red has 2 trebs too, though. And if red can get the Elite Eagle upgrade, I think something could be done here. Because I don't think Light Cav are going to do too well against Eagles. And although latest ignore armor, I feel like Eagles do a pretty high attack damage. Yeah. 9 as Eagle Warriors, and then... Okay, well... 16 plus 2 and ignoring armor is just... I mean, latest are just way too good for this game. So red will probably lose this fight, but I think his only goal is getting that treb. It is. Red is gonna throw all the eagles, which, I mean, is worth it. You're getting treb down. You really only kind of live if you get that treb destroyed. But there is still one here to deal with, so it's not great. Oh, and red gets treb down by 1 treb. Red can't be happy about that. And this one might die to that 1 treb too. Blue might just have really accurate trebuchets. And blue is getting chemistry, like he needs it. Despite all of this, there's still not much like production speed coming from blue here. I mean, blue's really just losing units. Red manages to keep that trebuchet up. And also throws all those pikemen. Classic. But that castle will probably eventually go down. Especially if red keeps adding more trebs like he is right now. Now, I think red could win this. Red just has to outproduce the opponent and get a few more upgrades. Like, I think Elite Eagle is necessary. Because it's, I mean, it's basically your version of the Winged Hussar in this situation. And, oh, it's so close. Will that latest get trained? Yes, it will. And it actually manages to kill the eagles going after the treb. So that's convenient. But the castle finally goes down. And there's only 1 treb left here from red. I'm not sure how the other one got hit. There go the latest. I think red can do it. Red just needs to not forget essential parts of the game. The amount of times this trebuchet has been repaired is astounding, and it finally goes down with the latest trebuchet combo. And all the pikemen die to the skirmishers. And now red is losing ground quickly. This isn't good for our hero. This trebuchet is almost down. That'll go down. Direct hit. Red's gonna make a small push towards blue's base. And that is a lot of farms. Blue is floating way too many resources at the moment. Let's see. We've gone down 4,000 on the wood. About maybe 4,000 on the gold. 1,500 on the stone. And actually 500 on the food from the beginning. I assume most of it is in the hunt. So there's a lot of hunt on this map. But red is not looking good. This is all red really has left. Red's original base is the only thing really left here. And blue can still kind of just run under it, apparently. Which must kind of suck for red. Probably not happy about that. Alright. Well, now red's trying to convert skirmishers and light cav. Which unfortunately won't work well, because no converted skirmisher is gonna do anything. If you have an army of skirmishers. And somehow... Oh, there's a pikeman here. Blue's still gonna get a good raid on here, because blue is continuing to produce using these stables. Blue's amazing. Blue's just been constantly producing. Eco KD is 55 to 21. And overall KD is almost double. Now, I say that like it's more compared to Eco KD, but Eco KD is more than double. So. I'm not sure what the pikemen think they're gonna do. They might eventually kill that villager. Who knows? Red might resign before that even happens. TC's doing work there. Killing any skirmishers that get in here. Blue's finally resorting to siege. Now, you do have a castle, Blue. You could make a few trebuchets. Oh, and Red's gonna carry it on, apparently. I mean, most of your ecos forced into this little circle, but I mean, if you think you can castle trap, I guess that works. I mean, even if you get the castle up and start trebbing down this castle, I feel like Blue really has enough to just run under. Where? It doesn't tell me. What? Why is it saying Blue's units are in Red's castle? What does that mean? Or does it just mean they're so spread out it goes into the middle of them? Maybe these are all the same group. Alright, and now we've got a bunch of idle villagers here. Is Red gonna bring the trebs forward? No. Just gonna push me with a poorly placed castle? Or not me. I don't know why I was thinking. God. I'm getting tired again. This is bad. For some reason my mind switched to like I was in a team game talking to my opponent. But somehow Red is gonna push Blue without using any trebs. And Blue just, you know, is gonna take down that castle. Like, you've really gotta bring something to defend here. Otherwise the game is gonna go to 0.7 times speed. Maybe that'll fix it. A little. I'm not sure what the problem is. It could just be that my internet's bad tonight. Because the past few videos I haven't had such a stuttering issue. But we've hit the hour mark. It's a very intense game. But I think Red is ultimately gonna lose here. Because Wing Tussar are just too good against pikemen. Red really needed to go for Halberdier, or, I mean, Elite Eagles would have been the better way, because they're better against Light Cav than they are against Knights, and if you decided to make Halberdier, the skirmishers would have come in from Blue and killed them all. Don't know why I'm trying to move by moving the mouse. I know I can right click and drag around. So despite the villagers repairing it, that castle will go down. I don't think it'll even get the trebuchet made. And while that's happening, Red's entire home economy is getting killed. So Red's kind of having a rough day here. But Red manages to snipe a villager with those trebs. Oh, And red calls GG. So, oh boy. Look at those farms. I can only place one tile in this direction, but you know, going 4 out this way is perfectly fine. No, I didn't look at the APM once that game, and I'd be interested. So red actually had huge spikes, apparently. Okay. And let's get a quick look at the pie charts. Boom, pie charts. He was moving a lot. He was idle for a bit. He was apparently on food at some point. Like, maybe on a farm, I guess? Maybe he was on one of the 2 farms that depleted. I don't know. I don't know how he's been taking food for almost half his life when he ends the game on wood. That's why you don't find random villagers and look at what they've been doing. You'll be terrified by the answer. Like, let's take a look at... Where are the villagers? Oh, here. What were these guys doing? They were idle for most of the game, okay. That makes sense. Then moving, then building, or then stone, then building, then gold. That's why the pie charts are interesting. They tell you many things. All of which I am too tired to go over. Ugh. Man. I'm glad this game ended here, because I don't know how much longer I would have lasted. It was a good game, though. Blue ended the game with a 63 villager lead. I wouldn't exactly say it was the closest. Let's take one last look at economy. So red was at the highest. Where's the population? Stacked? Oh, that's interesting. Let's see, this doesn't actually show, like, the population to society. Yeah, okay. Huh. Wait, is this supposed to be... Surely this isn't supposed to be, perfectly symmetrical. What? Well, percentage of current, actual value. Relative to maximum? Huh. That's interesting. But let's just go here. So, blue had just above 100, which is really good for 100 elo. It's well done to blue there. And then red got kind of close with 77 there. And then this is when everything went poorly. And there's actually another drop right at the end there. And red actually started the game with 1 more villager. Managed to pull ahead. Then blue just kept pulling ahead because red got a lot of idle time early game. And then they all died. Not sure what this is supposed to mean. Now, is this percent researched? I'm not sure what this statistic means. It could be obvious. But blue really saw the whole map. I think blue did a good job. Blue really just knew red's every movement. Because those houses provided way too much vision. And then blue actually did manage to get 2 or 3 outposts up. And those gave even more. So, well done from blue. Blue deserved that. But since I think it's time for me to hit the hay, as they say. Thank you all for watching, and let's see. I should have come up with something for this. Don't go step on a Lego.